A shocking FBI raid has rocked Hollywood. The famous Goldberg mansion, once seen as nothing more than a sign of wealth and fame, now hides a dark secret that no one could have seen coming. Even experienced agents are shocked by what they find. What has been kept secret for so long? Why hasn't the public heard the truth? More importantly, the evidence found changes everything we thought we knew about Goldberg. This isn't just a raid, it's the start of a shocking story. In the early morning, when the streetlights are dim, the area around Goldberg's beautiful mansion is still completely peaceful. It's so quiet that you can hear the leaves softly scuffing the sidewalk. But this morning, the peaceful atmosphere is broken up by the roar of engines, hurried footsteps, and an oppressively tense air. It's only 5 a.m. The neighborhood is still asleep except for a few old people who usually get up early to go for a walk. But today they quickly realized that something was wrong when a group of unmarked SUVs covered in a mysterious black color showed up out of nowhere. They moved slowly but steadily, carrying cold air. After stepping out without delay, people in black suits, bulletproof vests, and sunglasses quickly blocked all entrances and exits to Goldberg's mansion, not letting anyone enter or leave. Then there was a loud bang on the door, like thunder in the early morning. There was no hesitancy or warning. This was not a normal visit. It was a raid inside the mansion. The lights were on, and a figure moved slightly on the second floor, letting the owner know that they were awake. The big wooden door slowly opened, and there stood Whoopi Goldberg, a famous American actress who had been through all the glory and trouble of Hollywood, but had never been in a situation like this. She had just woken up and was still her usual calm self. She was wearing a light gray robe and her hair was loose and natural. She looked at the agent standing in front of the door with sharp eyes, not scared but surprised and a little confused about what was going on. She spoke in a calm but authoritative voice as the agent stepped forward, took a file out of a black briefcase and held up an FBI badge. "We have a search warrant. This is a federal investigation." The announcement sounded like an explosion in the morning mist. As soon as the door opened, agents rushed in, taking up space inside the mansion, outside. Rumors of the raid quickly spread, with neighbors standing in groups and whispering things like, "I can't believe Goldberg is working with the FBI." One middle-aged woman shook her head in shock while another asked, "She's a big star. What's this all about?" As news of the raid spread, reporters rushed in with cameras raised and high-powered flashbulbs flashing off the windows of FBI cars. Local police were quickly called to control the crowd and set up barricades to keep people from getting through. The search was urgent and careful, with agents going from room to room, opening drawers and flipping through books on shelves. No detail was left unchecked. Whoopi stood in the middle of the living room with her arms folded, watching the people look through her house. She knew the FBI would never come to her door without a reason. But the most important question was why they were looking through her stuff. An agent walked up to her and looked her over. The FBI looked Whoopi Goldberg straight in the eye and said, "Do you want us to call your lawyer?" She took a deep breath and nodded slightly. "I think that's the right thing to do." No one knew what the FBI was looking for, but they had a very good reason for doing this. Several agents in white gloves carefully opened a drawer in Whoopi Goldberg's personal library, where she kept important papers like scripts, contract tracks, and personal letters that had been kept for decades. One agent slowly turned the pages of the other room. Another group of agents quietly searched the basement on the other side of the house, which no one had ever been. Old dusty boxes were opened, and each item inside was carefully looked at. Suddenly, one agent yelled, "I think we found something," and the whole FBI team in the mansion gathered around as an old metal box was pulled out from a hidden corner. It was locked tightly and showed no signs of having been opened in years. Whoopi stood nearby, squinting at it. Slowly, the agents looked at each other, quickly sealing the box and sending it to a specialist instead of opening it on the spot. After hours of searching, the FBI finally left the mansion without saying anything to the press. No one knew what they had found, and Whoopi Goldberg stood there in her own mansion with endless doubts. Outside, the crowd started to disperse, but rumors had never spread so quickly. Newspaper headlines read, "FBI raids Whoopi Goldberg's house." What did the FBI find in Whoopi's mansion? The whole country was waiting for answers, but only those involved in the investigation knew the truth, and that truth could change everything. Whoopi Goldberg has never been away from controversy. As one of Hollywood's most famous faces, she's been through everything from big-screen successes to harsh criticism for her personal views. But this time was different. This wasn't a TV debate or a critical magazine article. The FBI wasn't acting. Because she said something shocking, they were looking into her seriously. Law enforcement insiders know that the FBI never searches unless they have a solid caseload. This begs the question, how long have they been watching Whoopi? Several law enforcement sources say that the FBI has been keeping an eye on the actress for months. No one knew exactly what they were looking for, but one thing was clear. This was a big case. The FBI doesn't waste time or money on small cases. Issued a search warrant, it means they think something very bad is going on, but the biggest question is what made Whoopi Goldberg a target. Some lawyers think it might be a financial investigation since many celebrities have been charged with tax violations or shady business practices in recent years. But if it was just a tax case, why would the FBI act so aggressively? Why would they send an armed task force to the home of an elderly actress? Is there a deeper mystery that is slowly being revealed? After decades in the entertainment industry, Whoopi Goldberg has unintentionally become involved in a problem that has gotten out of hand. Whoopi Goldberg is no stranger to controversy and public attention. She is known for being outspoken and not being afraid to say what she thinks, even if it means getting in trouble. On The View, where she has been a host for years, her strong opinions, heated debates with guests, and controversial political and social commentary have made her one of the most controversial figures in the world. Even though Whoopi has been in a lot of controversies, her career has never been in such serious jeopardy. As soon as news of the raid hit, people on Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok started posting about it. Some said it was just a misunderstanding, while others offered all kinds of conspiracy theories about why the investigation was happening. The media didn't miss the chance to use the story to make money. Sensational headlines kept showing up in the Hollywood. Was rocked when the FBI raided Whoopi Goldberg's home. What was going on? One of America's entertainment legends was being investigated. Would this be the end of her career? The event became so popular that Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert both made sarcastic jokes about it on their late-night shows. But there was a serious truth behind the jokes. Whoopi Goldberg was facing the biggest storm of her career. When the FBI left her mansion, they didn't say anything. There were no indictments, there were no reports of crimes, and no explanations for the mysterious box that was taken away. But that made the story even more exciting. Fans were worried that this could be the worst moment in Whoopi's career. If the investigation drags on, it could hurt her endorsement deals, film projects, and even her spot on The View. Meanwhile, her critics are gloating and making fun of her on social media, saying that this is the result of her past controversial comments. But Whoopi Goldberg has never been one to back down. Not to be scared, a few days later she broke her silence on a special episode of The View where millions of people saw her. She stayed calm, but there was clear determination in her eyes. "I know what you're saying," she said in a low, firm voice. "I've heard everything, but let me be clear. I have nothing to hide." She didn't go into specifics of the investigation, but it was clear that she wasn't going to let this ruin her reputation. But the big question still stands. Will these claims be enough to calm people down? Or is this just the start of a rough patch in Whoopi Goldberg's life? The FBI hasn't said anything about the investigation yet, which adds to the mystery. The question now is not just what's going on, but more importantly, can Whoopi Goldberg weather this storm? As the agents walk into Goldberg's fancy mansion, there is a heavy silence. Cold flashlight beams illuminate every corner and bookshelves are neatly arranged. What they're looking for isn't in plain sight. It's deep within the secrets that have never been revealed. As the search goes on, one agent stops in front of a wall in the office. At first glance, the groove runs along the base of the wall and isn't much more than a decoration. But when someone accidentally touches it, a dry, clicking sound is heard, and everyone stops. An experienced agent bends down and runs his hand along the groove. This time it wasn't just a noise, it was a piece of the wall. A wall slowly slid away, revealing a secret door that wasn't shown on the house's plans. Everyone looked at each other with tense eyes. No one knew what was behind that door. Several agents raised their guns, ready to deal with whatever might happen. When the door opened all the way, a dark hallway led down to a deep, dark basement. The air smelled musty, like the place had been empty for years. Inside the hidden room, there were no fancy furnishings and no signs of life. There were dusty wooden shelves and an old table in the middle of the room, but what caught the agent's eye were the metal boxes neatly stacked in a corner. Each one was carefully sealed, as if it had never been opened in years. When the first box was opened, it revealed a stack of old documents, some of which were marked "Top Secret." The pages were yellowed from age, but the contents were still there. Another agent turned the pages and stopped when some familiar names appeared. It remains to be seen if Whoopi Goldberg's talent as an artist will be enough to keep her going. One thing is for sure, this story isn't over. What did the FBI find out? What does it mean for Goldberg? This is just the beginning. What's to come could be even more shocking. Whatever the truth is, Whoopi Goldberg's life is at a crossroads. Hollywood has seen many stars fall into the public eye, a public opinion, some sink, some rise stronger than ever will Whoopi Goldberg. While the mysteries remain unsolved, one thing is for sure, people will not stop watching. No matter what the final answer is, it will not only affect one person, but it will also shake the entertainment industry. Let's wait and see how the next chapter of this story plays out. If you found this video interesting, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.